Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to present on presentation on deviated nasal septum on MedSurg 2 under guidance of Udita ma'am. First, we'll come on introduction. The nasal septum is usually straight and separates the nose into two equal chambers. Nasal septum deviation is a common physical disorder of the nose involving a displacement of nasal septum. Nasal septum means the dividing structure of the nose. As you can see in the picture, the lining which divides the two nostrils is known as nasal septum. Okay, when this gets deviated, then it causes nasal deviation. It is a physical disorder of the nose in which the nasal septum gets displaced. It can be due to trauma, like any disturbing experiences. Then it leads to asymmetrical breathing passage. It may cause obstruction. This nasal septum deviation can cause obstruction, blockage to the breathing, and leads to bleeding of the noses. Then comes definition. Nasal deviation is a physical disorder of the nose involving displacement of nasal septum, that is dividing structure of the nose. Deviation means departing, okay? And nasal means, as we all know, nose. So nasal deviation is a physical disorder of the nose. It is the disorder of the nose, like when it is the disorder of the nose in which the septum gets displaced or deviated. The dividing structure gets deviated. It is the condition in which the nasal septum, the bone and cartilage that divides the nasal cavity of nose in half, as you can see in the picture, when the bone that divides gets displaced or moved out of position, then it causes nasal deviation. A deviated septum is an abnormal condition in which the top of cartilaginous ridge lean to the left or right, causing obstruction of the affected nasal passage. You can see in the picture. First is normal nasal septum, in which the septum is straight. There is no harm or injury, though it is normal. Second is deviated nasal septum, in which it is departed or departing, like the bone gets deformed, then it causes deviated nasal septum. Third is perforated nasal septum. Heavy trauma or stress or injury causes perforated nasal septum. Then comes causes of nasal septum. First is it can be present at birth. It occurs during fetal development and is apparent at birth. Nasal septum deviation can be occurred right from the birth of the child. Injury to the nose, a deviated septum can also be the result of an injury that causes the nasal septum to be moved out of position. If there is any injury to the nose, if there is any kind of injury or harm, the septum gets deviated and the nasal septum tends to moved out of position. Third is, in most cases, it results from impact trauma. In some cases, the deviation can be due to the trauma, like disturbing experiences or stress. Fourth is, trauma to the nose commonly occurs during contact sports, like when we play any type of sports like cricket, tennis, football, and by any violent, like sometimes we play violently. So when the ball gets hit, when we get hit by the ball on the nose, then it may cause to trauma, it may cause to injury, and that leads to nasal septum deviation. Then comes the symptoms. Symptoms is by which we can relate that we are having nasal deviated septum. The first is obstruction of one or both nostrils. When on both the nostrils there is obstruction, that means blockage. When there is blockage of the nose and we may feel difficulty in breathing, then it is the symptoms of nasal deviated septum. Second is nosebleeds. When the surface of nasal septum may become dry, the surface becomes dry and there will be the risk of nose bleeding. Third is facial pain. Possible of causing facial pain. On one-sided facial pain could be severe deviated septum. If there is one-side facial pain, if there is any pain on the face of our muscles of our faces, then it can be severe deviated septum. Fourth is noisy breathing during sleep. When one person is sleeping, then there may be some kind of noises, like wheezing noises. We may feel uneasiness to breathe, then there will be a noise on the breathing. So that is the symptoms of deviated nasal septum. Fifth is preferences for sleeping on a particular side. Some people may prefer to sleep on a particular side. Okay. that leads to like sometimes we experience, like when we sleep on one side, on one side, then a person may feel difficulty in breathing on one side. There may be blockage on the one side. Then the pathophysiology, trauma or infection, like any kind of stress or infection. Then comes after that inflammation. If there is trauma or infection, there may be inflammation, there may be infection. Then after that, release of inflammatory mediators and chemotaxis of leukocytes. Chemotaxis means movement of a motile cell organism. After that comes tissue edema, pain, heat and redness. Due to all the trauma, infection, inflammation, there will be tissue swelling. We experiences pain, heat or redness on the nose. Diagnosis. How we detect. First, diagnosis can usually be made by the physician or specialist simply examining the nasal passage. First is they examine the nasal passage if there is any inequality in the size of the nostrils or deformity. Then it is deviated nasal septum. During the physical exam, doctor will ask if we are having nosebleeds or there is any blockage in breathing. Doctor will ask. Using a bright light and an instrument, nasal speculum, designed to spread open nostrils, doctors will examine inside of the nose. Septal deviations are evident on anterior rhinoscopy. Now, there is an instrument that is called nasal speculum, which is used to widen the nasal passage, and then we can detect we can examine. And rhinoscopy means examination of nasal passage. First is medical management. Medical management, like how we manage. First is decongestants. Decongestants are the medicines that reduces nasal congestions, helping to keep the airways on both sides of nose open. This helps to keep the blockage of the nose open. It is available in pills or sprays. Antihistamines, they are the medication that helps prevent many cold and allergy symptoms, including runny nose. Then it helps to prevent the cold or allergies. Nasal cortisone spray. Prescription nasal cortisone sprays reduce inflammation in nasal passage and help prevent runny noses. Nasal cortisone spray helps to prevent runny noses and it reduces the nasal blockage. Then comes surgical management. First, septoplasty. Surgical procedure called septoplasty is performed under local or general anesthesia. It is performed under general anesthesia which relieves pain. Okay. With an endoscope, surgeon makes incision inside nose, lifts the lining of septum and removes deviated portion and realigns the septal bone and cartilage. In this surgery, how the procedure is done is with the help of an endoscope. Endoscope is the instrument that helps to view internal part. Surgeon makes incision, cut on the sides of the noses, and then the septum is removed and realign means again it is aligned to the septal bone and cartilage. In some cases, surgery to reshape the nose is performed at the same time as septoplasty. Sometimes surgery to reshape, sometimes the deviated nasal septum, it can be reshaped by performing rhinoplasty. Rhinoplasty involves readjusting the bone and cartilage of nose to change its shape or size or both. Rhinoplasty is the procedure in which the bone is readjusted, as you can see on the picture. During surgery, cartilage and bone may be removed to reshape the deviated septum. Okay. Then septum reshaped. Second is after surgery there is no more breathing space, enough cartilage and bone remain to give the nose support. Then comes a submucous resection. Resection means process of cutting out tissues. Then this operation is done in general anesthesia, involves peeling back the lining of the nose from the septum and remove the cartilage and bone from the deviated area. Lining is then replaced. The nose is gently packed for about 24 hours to maintain the correct position, and usually the patient is allowed to go home after a day or two. This is the resection. Then the lining of the nose, it is resected, cutted into pieces, and then it is cutted and then it is realigned. Then the patient is kept into observation for 24 hours and they are suggested to maintain a particular position. Now the post-operative care. After procedure, individual will go home the same day. There will be mild discomfort to nasal area for 1 or 2 days afterwards. This you will understand, it's simple. And then second is, in reducing post-operative operative discomfort, oral pain medication are generally effective. When after the operation, when a patient gets any pain, then reducing they are prescribed with medicines. Apply cold compressors or ice pack. Cold compressors or ice packs are put on the nose. Considerable swelling and bruising is expected. Nasal cavities may or may not be packed, and a piece of gauze is taped underneath the nose to absorb bleeding. Now, sometimes after the surgery, there may be swelling or bruising, so this must be taken care of. It includes frequent changing of gauze, and after 1 to 2 days, the excess bleeding normally stops, and inner nasal packing may be removed. After the surgery, the inner nose is packed. So after the surgery, after some 1 or 2 days, they can be removed. Patients are sometimes instructed not to blow their nose for a week or two. Now, sometimes after the surgery, patients are suggested not to blow their nose, as if they blow, then there will be injury to the nose. Encourage relaxation techniques and deep breathing exercise for anxiety association. Patients are suggested to do deep breathing exercises. During post-operative care, frequent saline irrigations of nasal cavities are continuously used until healing process is complete. Then comes prevention. One may be able to prevent the injuries to nose that can cause deviated septum with these precautions. First is, wear a helmet when playing contact sports such as football and hockey. Wear seat belts while riding in a motorized vehicle. This is all the prevention. Like by any chances we get any injury, then it's necessary for us to put a helmet or a safety kits, so that we do not get any injury or harm to the nose. Complications is, if one has severely deviated septum, it may cause chronic sinus infection. Now, if there is a severe deviation in the nasal passage, then first it can lead to chronic sinus infection. Second, postnatal drip or nasal congestion. Third is nosebleeds, and fifth is facial pain and headache. This is the presentation. Okay, I've completed. Thank you.